Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done a video, but I figured right now would be a really good time to do one since it's the first half of the year is finishing up and we're starting a new year. Not a new year, my goodness, the second half of the year, and I'm going to be starting in my new B6 horizontal plans book by Just Scribbled, and I can go over what I liked, what I didn't like too much, and give you the first half of the year in review. So let's get set up. Is a little weird because my stand that I got officially gave out, so I had to purchase another stand, so I'm here on pillows. And excuse my voice, I'm starting to feel under the weather, but before I started feeling worse, since it's the end of June, or coming up, yeah, we're at the end of June, I wanted to do this before the first half officially finished. So this is my volume 1 of the plans book by Just Scribbles. It's the B6 size, and it's the horizontal layout, and it's volume 1. I don't want to show you guys too much to cover because I'm going to be showing it off on my Instagram and then in YouTube. This is kind of what it looks like before it's filled out, and this is what it looks like. Hold on, I did this wrong. Here we go. So this is it right here. You can see definitely a difference between 6 months and a year. I'm so thankful that she had 2 different volumes because my goodness, yeah, I definitely need it, especially because I memory plan and memory keep in here. So yeah. So I started this in January, and overall, I really enjoyed carrying it. My biggest thing is that the biggest pro is that I liked having everything in one book. My goals, my weekly planning, my memory keeping, all of it. If you guys hear noises and stuff, there's a window right in front of me, so cars pass by here. We kind of live in a corner, so it gets a little busy, so disclaimer on the background noise. But as you can see, she's been planned in, loved in. Some pages haven't been planned in, some weeks haven't been planned, but overall I've really enjoyed being in the book. Let me show you kind of, this one is the horizontal, and the reason it's horizontal is because it kind of has horizontal planning here. How I started it and I changed it along the way, is I put my to-dos here, my gratitude here, my meals, shopping, a mind spill. A lot of people call it brain dump. I like to call it mind spill. And then some tracking of my everyday stuff, vitamins, exercise, and then priorities. And then a focus. I never looked up a quote. I just put what was on my heart. And that kind of was the week. As the year evolved, I kind of changed up my layout a little bit, and I really liked it. So this was still gratitude. What I did, let me see if I can find it. Oh, you see, some weeks, this was when my son was in and out of the hospital. So over here, I changed it a little bit, where I did my to-dos on this side, and instead of gratitude, I started doing activities. Basically anything that involves me, an appointment, anything that's out of the house, pretty much. I kept this side the same. And what I started doing is I started gratitude journaling in my passport weekly insert, and that has worked out, and I did it for a couple months, you guys, and it's great, and I really like it. So that's kind of how I ended up using the week setup. My daily pages have been for memory keeping, anything that happened that day, and I have learned to give myself permission on the days that I had nothing to write, to just put sticky or just put a couple words that I was family time, and that was pretty much it. Like I put life was lived today off paper because blank pages is something that I have never liked. Don't like seeing a page blank. It drives me crazy. So I've been leaning towards giving myself grace and just flipping the page and keep going. So, but I love seeing when I flip pages being written on, pages with stickers, and yeah, that's been fun. Now I'm going to go to the things they were like little bumps that I personally had to get over. This is nothing to do with how the journal functioned or anything. This book has a lot of trackers, has a lot of, functionality to it. And that's something that, Siobhan was very thorough with when creating this. And as she made it, she has made upgrades to it, like darkening the font and doing some other stuff. So it's really been really good to see how she just has made this more of her own, especially being in the planner community for an extensive amount of time. So, and what she's learned along the way. So that's really cool to see. For me, one of the con and a hump that I had to get through was this bending of the front cover. Now, again, this is my personal con because it's just something that is personally to me because I like to change covers. And I noticed that when I would open it, especially as it got thicker, I noticed it happening more as the book got thicker, it would crease here and bend over here. And although this book, as you can see, lays beautifully flat, it wasn't. And I would have to kind of squeeze it in and out the front and the back. I didn't have a cover. I should have showed you guys. But like I had to constantly be doing this if I do decide to take it out of the house, kind of fiddle with it and let the cover kind of work. But when I didn't, it would just bend and start causing a crease over and over. And you guys probably saw it in my stories that I was struggling with a fabric cover, a clear cover, just trying to make it work. And then now the last month or so, I've kept it after a cover, and I was so afraid that this cover was going to get ruined. And you guys, it has stood the test of time, of AKA 6 months. And what I like about it too is that although it's a soft cover, it's really good quality. Like it could take the chunk. So, but that was one of my personal cons that I did not care for, was the creasing of here, because I personally, Michelle, loves to change coats. I mentioned how functional this plans book is with the trackers and everything. I jumped right in and wanted to fill it up, wanted to do all the things, but I didn't take the time to look at the videos of different ideas on how to use the trackers. I found myself probably a month or two ago looking at videos that Siobhan had posted on different ways to use the trackers, different ways to use the goal pages and stuff like that. And I thought that was so helpful, but kicked myself because I'm like, I should have done this at the beginning, because the other thing I didn't like personally was keeping track on all of these different habit trackers in here and leaving most of them empty. For example, this perpetual calendar is like one of my favorites in a planner, because I use it to keep the schedule of my husband. Well, I have the same tracker in my passport, so I didn't use this, but I'm like, I could have used it for birthdays. I could have used it to track my moods. I could have for my steps. There's so many ways, but I just didn't. So I left it blank, and honestly, I forgot about it. So moving ahead, I did fill up the Q1 goals. I filled up also my annual goals over here. And that I've tracked. I've written some more stuff along the way, scratched out what I've done. But these 3 boxes and this sheet is the one thing I struggle with most. And I've just been putting stickers and keeping other momentums in there, because I'm still trying to figure out what to do with those pages. So I still have to look that up. And then there's this monthly tracker, but it's a quarter tracker for January and February. Here I put some books that my daughter read in the school year, and then some other notes. But in one of the videos that Siobhan had put, you could use this for tracking of school, of your gardening, different things. And my head just went, like, I had a moment. I'm like, I'm so going to use this tracker for me, for personal stuff. And then on top of that tracker, you see, it was left empty. You have this Q1 monthly layout here. So that's another tracker. I used it as an ink test page. And although it's okay, you can use it for whatever you want, really, I feel like I didn't give it its full potential and purpose. But this tracker, moving forward, I'm going to use it to track my kids, both of my kiddos' school schedules and events, especially me being on the PTO. This track is going to be amazing. This is what she showed. I'm sorry, that you can use it for gardening, maybe for your pets, some other stuff. And it's really, I was so happy, because I'm like, now I'm going to go to using my second volume here, and I'll be able to use these trackers, whether it's habit tracking, goal tracking, whichever quarter tracker, more efficiently, more functional. And I can empty out a lot of stuff that's on my phone and also in my head. So yeah, like here I had a hard time. I still have a hard time. I know, writing in here, I know a few shops have stickers that you can put in here to kind of help you with notes and stuff. So I'm still going to venture out and see what I can do with that page. But other than that, it was great. Like the month I matched the monthly layout with my phone Apple calendar, because I use that thing always with me. So I figured I'm going to put it on paper, and that's how I use the monthlies. But yeah, some pages were blank at the beginning, especially at the beginning of the month, or trackers. I could not for the life of me get myself to jot so much down, because it didn't have a purpose. The function is here, but it was Michelle's turn to put it on paper and use it properly. Or, I mean, there's not a right way or wrong way. I know she made this for functionality and for what it is, and there's nothing wrong with using another way. But to me, I want to use it and be purposeful and intentional with it. So that was my spiel on my volume 1, first half of the year, January to June, and how it went with my 2026 horizontal plans book. And I'm looking forward to starting the second one this week, and just closing this chapter and putting it aside, and giving myself great grace for the trackers I didn't use and the blank pages, and for what I learned the first half of the year, and going full speed ahead with the second one. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you, and have a great day.